What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hockey Think Tank. New Friday segments that we don't even have a name for. It is that new. We're thinking hot topic, hot button, controversial issues that are going on throughout the hockey world. It could be in the NHL. It could be in college. It could just be anything to do with hockey, people in hockey. We want to get the people talking. We want to get you involved. So, like I said, it's going to be hot topics, hot takes, Tabasco, something spicy, and we want you guys to help us think of the name. You guys, our listeners, thought of the name Short Shifts for our Wednesday short 10-minute episode. It's going to be a short 10-minute episode on Fridays from now on as well, but we have not named this baby yet. If you are part of the Hockey Think Tank community, we're going to put up a poll, and we want everybody to give their best hot button, hot take synonyms here, something that grabs the tongue, something that grabs the mind, so we get everybody battling it out here. Two men enter, one man leave type of style.
Little controversy. We'll see how she goes. Yeah, let's do it. So what do we got this week, Vex?
So I walked into the rink, and we've touched on this a little bit throughout the 6 years, but I want to get into it because it fired me up, Tabasco-ass style. Walked into the rink, and I saw 8U Might players playing in a full ice game. And we've talked about this before, but I want to talk about it in a fiery way here. I think I saw one or two players touch the puck for like a whole 6-minute span. The two best players were the only ones on the ice touching the puck. Every other kid is out there not touching the puck, skating in circles, chasing butterflies. I just really don't understand why people think that they need to play full ice hockey if you're below 8. We've all seen the videos of men's league hockey players out on a soccer field, and they never touch the puck. They ask them, how did you like this? And they're like, it wasn't very fun. I wasn't engaged. I was nowhere near the play. I was nowhere near the puck. It's the same thing for 8-year-olds, and I don't get it. Let's talk about it.
Well, what I will say is, so I got 3 kids, and so we've put them in a bunch of different sports, see what sticks. And I think hockey literally is the only sport out of any of the sports that doesn't shrink the field or court or rink or whatever.
What sports are we talking about where they're shrinking it with your daughters?
Soccer, baseball, basketball, football. Like, what other sports are there? Like, you name it.
I don't know. I've never seen that with kids.
I'm not sure about lacrosse, actually.
Yeah. They got to run the whole field? No way.
Yeah, you're probably right. So that number one should tell you something. Okay, why are we? I don't know. The other thing is, look at the research, man. Like, look at the research of how like absolutely backwards it is to play full ice hockey at that age. There's not a lot of puck touches, like not a lot of competitive battles, and those are things that make good hockey players at the end of the day. Good hockey players are not players that can skate in a straight line down the ice. They're not.
I know.
I know from experience, dude. Right? So like, and that's what we see at like the older levels. Like, how many of the best like 8, 9, 10-year-old, best 15-year-olds, because they've been rewarded for being a really good skater and skating in a straight line down the ice and kind of beating everybody. But eventually people are going to catch up. Eventually there's going to be a level that you hit, and you're going to have such a low ceiling, and you're going to plateau that like you're not going to be a hockey player at the end of the day. And so, you know, people have fought this battle, like, you know, like Mites, like a lot of like here in Chicago, and I'm sure in other places, like they have a league for full ice that is in AAU. It's not a part of USA Hockey. And it like, which is whatever, like it is what it is. But like, let's look at the research here, guys. Like, we're not making better hockey players by letting them play full ice. We're not.
It makes no freaking sense at all. Look at it from your child's little cute eyes. That rink is an ocean to them. And let's also talk about being practical. The cost of ice is up the wazoo.
100%, man.
We can get 4 teams out there instead of 2 for every ice slot. So you're dividing you're slashing in half what your team is paying per ice time. Why would you not want that also? Especially if you run an organization. Now you're charging your families less, and everybody's winning. You're going to have more players in hockey longer versus charging an arm and a leg to have them play full ice all the time when they're 8, and it just starts from there, and it just goes on and on and on, and the prices just go up and up and up.
Yeah, 100%. USA Hockey's done the research. Like I said, more puck touches, more battles, like more initiation in hockey, different type plays. And like yeah, like that's what hockey development is at the end of the day. And so, and the counter side of that is like, well, yeah, that's not what hockey looks like. You're right, that's not what hockey looks like. But the game changes every level you go up.
I think that's a stupid rebuttal, anyways, because hockey doesn't look like 3 feet tall people on the ice either. Like, if you shrink the people, you shrink the sticks, you shrink the skates, you shrink the size of the surface area to play on.
Yeah.
It's just common sense.
Yeah. Oh, but we don't know how to play position. Blah blah blah. 5-on-5. It's like, okay, you know how easy it is to like teach positioning.
Yeah, honestly, like, come
You know
on,
how
guys.
easy it is to teach kids how to be robots.
Very
Like,
easy.
it's very easy, right? And like again, we're big on, okay, what do we want to make? Like, what's the end goal? All right, then let's work back from that, right? What do we want in our kids, and then let's work back from that. And what do we want from kids? We want them to be competitive. We want them to have an understanding of the game. And those are things that, like, playing full ice mites, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
No, it literally, like, this one fires me up, Toph. This one, like, really pisses me off because I sat there and watched, I don't even know how long, 10, 12 minutes, and there was like 3 puck touches. And it was just kids like following the puck around, skating a little bit, waddling. And I'm just like, dude, this doesn't even look fun for them. Like, how much more fun is it to touch the puck? Everybody wants to touch puck, right? Everybody wants to be part of the play, not chasing the play around and never being able to, and just letting the one kid who's way better than everybody else just score 10 goals a game. Like, I don't
There's
see
a lot
how
of
that's,
waiting, right? There's a lot of
yeah.
waiting.
I don't see how it develops anyway. There's not a lot of stopping and starting either, which is going to work their leg strength too when they're younger. Like, for me, I don't know. I want to hear what you guys obviously think. But like, if you got a good point, let's hear it, because I've never really heard any good points to refute why it just makes sense for really small players to cut the ice in half, or even thirds, honestly.
Yeah. The older you get and the higher level you go, the less of hockey is straight lines. The
Yeah.
less of hockey is straight lines. So if we've taught kids how to be good in straight lines, player position, like we're developing hockey players that don't know how to understand and process the game at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day.
Mm-hmm.
When you shrink the ice and you give them these opportunities to have these different plays and things like that, like, again, what's the end goal here? We want to create hockey players, not people who can skate in a straight line.
Yeah, like, guys, I lived it. Trust me. My coaches just told me to beat everybody wide because I was faster than everybody until I got to juniors. And I got to juniors, and I literally went from skill guy on Team USA over in a thing in Europe, crushed Select 17 camp, like one of the leading scorers. And I get to the USHL, and I literally, like, had to relearn how to play hockey because I couldn't just beat everybody wide. Like, it was really, really hard for me. It was really hard for me. I don't want that for other people. Like, this forces them to start to think about, and you're playing in tighter spaces. And, we all know that this makes sense. And I don't care. Anybody who says that it doesn't, come on,
Yeah.
refute us, rebut us, come
Also,
at us.
I
What do you
want to
got?
say, for like the people who are like, we need full ice practices, at that age, like, let me tell you something. My Bantam team that won the national championship, I've talked about it before. Like, we practice like maybe 40% of our practices on a studio rink, and we
Yeah.
just like played small area games,
Yeah.
and we were really,
Bantams.
really good, really, really good, because we all understood the game, at the end of the day. And so, for everybody out there giving your hockey director or giving your youth hockey president a hard time for not enough full ice practices at 10U or 8U, even 12U, like, you're making your kids better. Like, small area type stuff is so incredibly important. Skating in a straight line, which is what a lot of drills happen in full ice, is doesn't make good hockey players at the end of the day. So hot
share
take,
this
button.
with people. Let us know. Reach out. We're going to put it on Twitter and the Gram and YouTube and everywhere. If you got a good rebuttal, step up to the plate. Let's go.
Share the show.